What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react to a video where Brits are answering the question, would you move to America? Yeah, come on. Come on down. It's great. Everything is great here all the time. Okay. So I'm actually really curious to see what British people have to say about this, because here in the United States, we don't really get to hear enough about what other people think of our country. So today, I really want to take a look at this video by Politics Joe and see what British people have to say about the United States. So let's take a look.
In 2025, would you move to America?
No chance. I just think the climate is just really quite toxic at the moment.
Oh, that was quick. There was really zero hesitation out of her, which is pretty, disheartening as an American myself. Just the first random person they talk to is immediately like, no, no, I'd never move there. And she's saying it's quite toxic here. I'd like to hear specifically what she's talking about.
Happening with like immigration and ICE, but also just like women's rights. It's just scary. My grandfather lives in the States. He actually was like, potentially voting for Trump. Just the dichotomy of how it works and how citizens are interacting with the government and lack thereof is just really scary.
No. Okay, I get it. First and foremost, like, if you don't like Donald Trump, of course you would never move to the country that he is the leader of. That makes complete sense. And then, I don't know, talking about some of the specific things she's mentioned, I totally get it. Like, she mentioned the toxicity in general, which, I don't know, it's true. If you live here in the United States, there is a lot of tension and really aggression between our politics and people in the United States are really more, I guess toxic is a good word, but just people in the United States really hate each other that are on different sides of the politics. And it gets a bit out of control, yeah.
And how citizens are interacting with the government and lack thereof is just really...
She mentioned something else.
Like immigration and
ICE, that's right, yeah. I mean, in theory, a lot of Americans were in favor of, illegal immigrants, people who came here illegally, and really those that have committed crimes or done stuff like that. Those people would be, cracked down on and deported, and I think anybody is in favor of, getting illegal criminals out of your country. I don't think that's that controversial, but obviously the ICE and the whole crackdown on immigrants in the U.S. has definitely been taken way too far, and there's a lot of crazy stories about that. Yeah, that's true.
He actually was like, potentially voting for Trump. Just the dichotomy of how it works and how citizens are interacting with the government and lack thereof is just really scary.
I think she mentioned women's rights as well, and certainly under Donald Trump, something like abortion has been severely limited. That's absolutely true.
No, because I am transgender.
Same reason, definitely not.
Would I?
Huh. Yeah, and I don't think it's any secret. I don't know much about that. I don't have that personal experience myself, but I would think any transgender person at this point is pretty well aware that you wouldn't really feel comfortable moving to where Donald Trump is the leader of the country, where he's pretty vocally against something like that. That's valid. That's true.
Yeah, I think I would, yeah. I think the lifestyle out there,
Oh.
it seems okay.
Same as.
Hey, wait a minute, hold on. Hey, wait, I found my people. Here they are. Don't get me wrong. Like, the United States has lots of problems. But at the same time, like, if you find the right place to live, I can say from personal experience, like, it can be great. You can live a great life and be happy and not, like, live in total fear and depression. But at the same time, there's lots of people who do have that problem. So, yeah, the United States is a really big place. So, yeah, that's kind of my take on it. I don't know. It's just kind of funny also to see. I don't know if this is a trend, but the first British people, these two guys who said they would move to America, they are older. And so far, the others who have been against America are younger. I don't know if that's going to be a trend.
Yeah, different lifestyle. Actually seems a bit more relaxed over there and open, doesn't it?
More relaxed. Different. They're not even really bringing up politics. Maybe that's the difference. Like, if you're very much, and I think younger people maybe they were mentioning like Trump and his policies and stances and some of that, and how much they were against that. Whereas these older gentlemen are just like, sort of in general, I don't think they're even talking about that. They're just like, America seems laid back. Like, okay, I'll take it.
Pancakes.
Yeah.
As long as it's not to do with Trump, yeah.
Never mind. That's funny. I was thinking, oh, are we going to get someone who's not going to bring that up? No. Immediately, they're like, and for the American guy reacting to this, no Trump.
No, never. No, it's just scary. You don't have like free speech.
I agree. I won't move there.
You don't have free speech. Wow. That's interesting. Because that's like something that America is supposed to take a lot of pride in, like free speech. It's in our Constitution, something that a lot of people talk about. I'd love to know what she specifically means by we don't have free speech. In general, like, gosh, I would think she's talking about it. I think there's some truth to the fact that you can't just say anything about Trump or the government if they notice you. I think you can criticize Trump and you can criticize the American government and you can criticize America, and that's totally fine. And typically nothing will happen. Like at least 50% of Americans criticize it, if not more. But if you're like a high profile person and Trump notices it, like he could ruin your life or something. So maybe that's kind of what she's getting at. I don't know.
It's nice to look at.
Oh.
It's weird.
Hey.
You'd step over there and you already lose like 10 of the rights that you have here.
Oh, no.
Whoa. I didn't know British people thought of it that way. She might be talking about like the right, like to get an abortion, or I don't know, to criticize our government, or am I missing something? I'm the American, living here, and I don't know. I feel like I can pretty much say anything, but I know there's like stories of people saying the wrong thing and like getting their life ruined. So at the same time, you can't say anything. I'd love to know exactly what they're talking about in more detail, because this is really interesting and it's good. It's good to hear this.
Oh, no interest in moving there. It's a complete hole. No.
Oh my God. This is so interesting, because so far, like, the majority of people have very, very strong feelings about this. Very, very strong anti-American feelings. Like, at least with this is like a very polarizing question, obviously. Would you move there? That's like asking a lot. But at the same time, most of these people are like, hell no, no, like no chance.
I'm all right. I'm content here. No, I would never move to America. There's nothing about America that I think I would prefer over here. Like literally nothing.
Absolutely not.
What about our giant soda cups? What about our big? If you go to McDonald's, you get like a bigger ice cream size. What about that? we got stuff.
To be honest, I can't stand them. I feel really sorry for you. Sod the Yanks.
No.
Feel sorry for me. Oh my god. I don't know. I'm conflicted because there's a lot of truth to what these British people are saying. There's a lot of bad things going on in the United States, and a lot of things like deserving criticism, and a lot of good points here. But at the same time, it's not like we're a third world country. Like, for a lot of Americans, like, you know, a lot of this crazy stuff doesn't necessarily interfere with day-to-day life. You can still, you know, like, have a happy life with your family and friends, go out, do things, go to school. Like, we have problems, but this like interpretation from British people based on their reaction makes it sound like you think America is just a dump, like a just horrible, awful, scary place to live. And it's like, yeah, depending on where you live, that can be true. And depending on who you are and your own personal struggles or identity, that can also be true. Absolutely. I guess I can only speak from my personal experience. I'd say while a lot of these criticisms are true, it's not like our lives are horrible. You know, America's still like, it's still a pretty decent place to live. Jeez. I just wasn't expecting such a strong reaction out of these British people. Wow.
I don't think it's a very safe place to be right now. There's a lot going on politically, and
What is okay, I have to try to look at this through the lens of a British person. For a British person, like, are you saying that it's not safe for anybody? Because, you know, maybe I'm naive, but I feel pretty safe. Like, I think a lot of Americans feel safe. Like, safe from what? Now, down the road, maybe you're talking about down the line in the future, if Trump, like, tries to do some kind of insane, like, try to go for a third term, like, stay the president, like, violate the Constitution, whatever. Some people think he's gonna, like, become a dictator. If you believe all that and that's a possibility, that's very scary. Yeah, if that happened, that'd be terrifying. And maybe all that will come to pass, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just too optimistic about it. I don't know. But I'm hearing a lot of British people say that it's scary here, which is a really strong word.
I feel like as a woman, I wouldn't feel that safe.
And I totally get the woman thing. Again, there's a lot of perspectives I can't even, like, I've never really thought about deeply, or I don't have personal experience of, like, being a woman in America, or being a transgender person in America, or a black person in America. I don't know what that's like, you know? So, you know, I can only commentate so much about it.
I think current climate comes into it for me, but it would be a no, just simply time zones, and it's just very far away from my family, friends, and things like that.
Maybe, like, if it was...
These are officially, I think, the first British people to talk about, like, nothing political. Literally just like, I'd have to wake up at a different time, so that's annoying. Then this girl actually sounds like she'd be open to it.
It's like New York. I don't think I'd want to move anywhere like Texas. Anywhere super scary like that.
Oh my God. I don't know. I think I understand what you guys are saying when you say it's scary here. Maybe it's like, but I have to say, for all of our faults and all of the possibilities of scary things, it's like, I think when you're British, and you're like from an outside perspective, it's very scary, the unknown. Like you're not exactly sure what living in America is actually like. And again, it's a huge place. So just like she said, living in New York is very different from living in the middle of nowhere in Texas. It's a very different experience. It's like a different country. So that's very true. But again, it's just like, I don't think it's as scary as people are making it out to be, you know. Again, I can only speak for myself.
At the moment, I'm not particularly interested in going to the US at all at the moment, so maybe not. I just the political environment at the moment, the obvious things. It's just doesn't seem a very friendly place. No.
Yeah, that's very true. I'm starting to think, upon further reflection, these British comments are really making me think. Like, should we be more scared? I don't know. There's another part of this whole thing where when you're American and you have lived the last, you've lived your life in America, you become used to everything. There's a lot of crazy, insane stuff happening, especially around our politics and our president, that are crazy, that have become maybe too normalized. Maybe we're just too used to the craziness, like it's too normal. Where in Britain, where it's a little more normal, you guys look at us and you're like, that's scary, that's mad. Whereas I'm starting to think like a lot of us Americans are just jaded by it and just like, yeah, like that this is just what life is like, and it's it's fine. You find ways to just like keep your life going and try to be happy and like keep things as normal as possible, I guess.
No way. People getting killed and stuff like that. Nah, no way. I'll stay away from America for now.
People getting killed? Who's getting killed? I'm not sure. I need. This is like so fascinating, but I need more details. Who's getting killed in America? Certainly, people are getting killed, like by crime and stuff. I know there's like for a long time, for a few years back, people were really scared of being killed by the police.
Absolutely, no way. Our age group, so it's a place I'd like to visit in the future, but I think at the moment the tensions are just too high with everything going on, and I'd stay out of it personally.
That's another. The tensions are. I'm hearing a lot of this stuff again and again. The tension is too high. It's scary. I would like.
No, I think I'll just stay out of it.
Yeah.
Stay here.
Maybe not. They need to wake up a bit, don't they? It's a bit mad out there.
No, it's just dead to me. It's horrible.
No, I mean, you just can't say yes to that anymore. Definitely, glitz and glam. It looks great, but they got so many issues there, man. That I just couldn't do it in good faith.
That's okay. So let's recap a little bit. Like by and far, with the exception of maybe one or two people, every single British person in this video adamantly did not want to move to the United States. They were laughing at the idea. They were appalled. It wasn't like British people are just like, I don't know. It was a, strong negative reaction. That's what I took away from this. Oh my God. British people, at least the ones in this video, feel very, very strongly that America is a bad place to live. It's scary. It's, there's I'm not trying to say we don't have a lot of these problems, because we do. I think we're just kind of used to it. And I don't know, for a lot of us, we've just kind of accepted the situation for what it is. And I also think maybe the optimistic side of me is saying, I don't think it's quite as bad as some of these British people think, like your life is in mortal danger. That's a little extreme to me. Maybe I'm missing the point a little bit. That's possible, but some of these people took it a little too far. I think, that's, but again, that's just my opinion. That's all I can say about it. But it was very, very interesting, and I think very good. to hear these kind of perspectives, British perspective on the United States, because this definitely got me thinking about what we have decided is acceptable and normal in America. That's for sure. Yeah. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts. Especially, you know what, if you want to answer the question, would you move to the United States? That'd be cool to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to the UK and seeing things from the UK I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.